This old barn is absolutely a mess. More of a mess probably than normal. I've been doing a lot of projects here lately, and it seems like all the clutter just comes in. But one thing that I've been working on is, this was originally an old tobacco barn. Then the previous owner turned it into a church. So they, concreted the floors, insulated the walls, put heating and cooling in, which is kind of nice to have here. But I've been in the process of turning it back into a workshop, and this wall is the divider I put up to separate the wood shop area from more of the metalworking and what will eventually be a mechanic area, hopefully a lift. So as I've been putting this wall in, I've been changing the electric around in the shop, and I'll show you a little bit more of that here in a minute. But today I'm going to try to get this wall finished up, or at least this portion of it, and try to get some of the electrical running. I actually don't have any of the electrical hooked up behind this wall. I need to rework the wiring, put switches in, and so we'll do that today. But I'll get ready to take you to see the panel that I put in. The barn originally had a 100 amp panel. When we remodeled the house, I took the 200 amp panel out of it and put a 400 amp service, which I'll also show you a picture of that here lately. I'm pretty proud of it. But I took the 200 amp panel out of the house and I moved it here to the barn. And I've been slowly going through the wiring, completely rewiring this barn. The previous person had used different colors for hot, depending on what wire you had available. And so you had to read little notes, to know if you were working on the hot wire or not. So, I decided that I was just going to tear it all out and redo it. I've got a line voltage relay and current sensor. So anytime one of my tools in the wood shop are turned on, it'll automatically sense the current, and this relay will turn on the power to the dust collector. Real simple fix. Had to install a transformer and the relay and the current sensor, probably around 50 bucks worth of parts. And now I know that I don't have to think to turn my dust collector on. If I turn a tool on, it's going to turn on. And all those plugs in my shop are gray. So if you're plugging into a gray plug, whether it's 220 or whether it is 110, you know that you're hooking into a receptacle that is hooked to the dust collection. So then I also put in a 3-way switch that I can bypass this. And if I know I'm going to be just doing a lot of repetitive cuts on and off of machines, I can push that button and know that the dust collection is going to stay on. So today I'm going to try to put in another circuit for the lights up front. Before, the lights in the front and back were on one 220 circuit, and it went up and then split off to two 110s. I don't like doing it that way, so I've ran a separate 110 circuit for the lights here in the wood shop, and I'm going to get ready to run the 110 circuit and hook up the lights in the metalworking area. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. And a weakness that I have is I have the attention span of a fruit fly. Now, I personally believe that I get a lot done. I think that's one of my strengths. Is I'm a doer, and at the end of any given year, I can look back and there's a lot of stuff I accomplished. But I do have a problem that I have to be passionate about something to be able to do it. If I'm not, it is like pulling teeth. No matter how capable I am, I just have a hard time motivating myself when I'm not passionate. When I was redoing this wiring originally, when I started it, it was for my wood shop. I had some projects I needed to get done in the wood shop, and I got it all knocked out really quick to where my wood shop was usable, and then my attention span kicked in and I was done. So here I am, I don't know, it's several months later, and I can't remember what exactly I did, so I'm having to go back and spend the time to, figure out what I did and make a game plan for going forward. The good thing is now I'm motivated about getting lights in my front part of my shop hooked up, so Like I said, when I'm motivated, it's hard to stop me. But, you know, the fact is, I tried for a long time to change myself. And I have improved myself a lot, and I continue to do so. But I also learned that if you're waiting to be perfect, it's never going to happen. So, one of the best things you can do is figure out your strengths and how to magnify the strengths, and focus on those more. And so from that, I've noticed that now I'm getting even more stuff done than I was before. And you know, I think it's important that we all realize that everybody has strengths and realize how to magnify those. I saw a picture once, and it was it had a monkey, a fish, and I think an elephant. And the test was to see who could climb the tree the fastest. Well, obviously the monkey's going to excel at that. But the elephant and the fish both have their own talents as well. And if we judge everybody on how good they can climb the tree, you know, there's going to be some people that think that they're not, you know, smart or not talented. And so we got to find what those talents are and what those gifts are and really try to accentuate them. I'm going to keep looking here. And I just got to find where my next junction box needs to be at to tie in the lights up front. And single gang, triple gang, everything but double gang. And guess what I need? Double gang. First thing that I like to do anytime I'm running electric is to go ahead and set my boxes. That way I kind of have an idea of what I'm trying to accomplish. Some guys will start their circuit at the panel and work their way to their end point. I like to start at my end point and work my way back to the circuit. I don't know if there's a reason one's better than the other. It's just the way I've always done it, and I prefer to do it that way. When we remodeled the house, the portion that we've done so far, when we tore open the walls, we realized that there was the wiring was just horrible. There were several places where the actual wiring was done with cords like you would wire a Christmas tree with. And that's what they had ran the wires in the ceiling with. There were places where nails had went through the wires and what have you. So I decided, even though I hadn't originally planned on it, to rip out all the wiring out of the house. No matter what, I wasn't going to try to save any of it. I was just going to rip it all out and start fresh. Which I'm glad I did, and that resulted in me having a really nice electrical system now, better than I was originally planning on having at the house. But also, you know, a lot of the wire that came out of the house was perfectly fine. And that's actually what I've been using to wire up here at the barn with, for the most part. And there's no reason to just throw it away or scrap it. So I'm a firm believer that you reuse what you can and throw away as little as possible. So right to the right of this piece of trim, there's a post, or at least that's where it looks like it is to me. So I'm going to try to miss that post with this old works box. If you don't have one of these, you need to stop the video, go get in your truck, and go buy one right now. It is by far the most handy tool that I have. It will will be easier to fish the wire up through now before we actually put the box in, because the wire is really only made to go one way through the box. So I found the wire up in the loft. It was no easy task. Now I'll push the remainder up in there. I didn't want to pull from the top for fear that I pull too much through. I'd have to start all over. And I'll go ahead and put it in the box and attach the switch. We'll be good to go. Alright, now we'll go up top and make all the connections, and I'll see you back at the panel box. Here's the wire that I ran from the loft. Now I just gotta cut power to the panel before I get ready to start hooking this up. Now, one thing that you gotta think about when you're putting a panel together, putting breakers in, is what your future may be. Now I know for sure that I'm going to be adding another 220 circuit to run to a sub panel. But if you see, I've got a single slot open here, double, and a double. I definitely want to put this single in the single slot that's open, just in case I need two doubles. I'll have it. If I was to put it here or here, either one, I've lost the possibility to add a double there in the future without rearranging things. So I'm going to get ready to cut the power. Hopefully there's still enough light in here to for you guys to see. I'm going to open the blinds on the window to let as much light as possible. I was originally planning on installing a 20 amp breaker because the lights aren't actually wired hard. There are plug-ins there, and I was thinking I could put some drop cords in. But once I got up there in wiring, I realized all the lights that I couldn't get to, they were all wired by 14 gauge, and that's what I had to splice into. So I'm not going to be able to do anything other than just the 4 light fixtures. Typically I'll wear my headlamp when doing something like this, but I just packed it away the other day with my backpacking gear, and I really just don't want to have to go get it. Alright, let's go check it out. Alright guys, it's not much, but I got light. It has been so nice to be able to walk into the barn and turn the lights on. It's been something that has been a long time coming, and I'm just really glad to check that off my list. One last thing before I let you guys go here is, I know this has been a long video, just listening to me talking, and if there's anybody that is left watching at this point in time, I consider you guys to be the true heart of my channel. You know, the core and why I'm doing this. So I've got something I want to ask you to do. If you're still listening to this now, if you'll take time to comment on the video, maybe give a thumbs up so I know that you're out there. And then also if you'll share the video, you know, whether it be through your Facebook or any other social media. I'm just trying to get the word out there to you know, reach as many people as possible. Again, I want to really thank you sincerely for taking the time to watch my videos. I know that we're all busy people, and you've chosen to take some time out of your day to watch what I'm doing, and I appreciate that.